There we go. So this is the preview for the League One playoff final. So this will decide who goes up with Coventry and Rotherham to the Championship. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about the semi-final legs. I'm going to touch on them a bit, but it's mainly today about predicting who's going to win out of the finalists. And as you can see by the title of the video, it's Oxford United from the Kansam Stadium versus Wycombe Wanderers from Adams Park. So before we get into the video, please like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into this video. So, let's touch on first the semi-final leg. So, of course, paving the way for Oxford and Wycombe to head to Wembley is, of course, the losers, and that is, of course, Portsmouth and Fleetwood. Now, obviously, Portsmouth, the only team from those three, yeah, it is the only team out of those three that have been in the playoff finals from last season. Of course, Portsmouth were in it with Sunderland, Charlton and Doncaster. Why Doncaster? And of course it was eventually won, of course, by Charlton in the final. Portsmouth paved the way after losing to Sunderland in their leg, with Charlton beating us on penalties. Still can't shake that off, but it's okay because Grant McCann was managing and we don't want him back. But Portsmouth, they lose in the semi-finals again, and I believe Sunderland was on penalties as well, so again, they've lost on penalties, and this time it's Oxford United that have done it. So Portsmouth really don't have their luck with playoff semi-final penalty shootouts. But Oxford United, I believe they've never been in the Championship, so this will be their first venue into the Championship if they can beat the opponents. However, Oxford may have a very tough time in their battle in the final because their opponents are a team that absolutely, no offence to Fleetwood fans, demolished them. And that is, of course, Wycombe Wanderers, what we like to call the controversial playoff contenders, because of course Peterborough find a place to moan, because they do, alright. So of course, if you didn't know the story, Wycombe were basically put into the playoff picture on a points per game basis. That was the only way they thought they could finish the season. Yes, not every way is going to have everyone happy. There's always going to be critics no matter how you ended the season, so there was no point moaning about it. You just get on with it and get ready for next season. There was even talk about Peterborough's chairman stepping down if they didn't make the playoffs because of this points per game system, and of course he stuck to his word and they're looking for a new chairman from the sounds of it. So, but with Wycombe, I think Peterborough were hoping Fleetwood would get some kind of result and go to Wembley so they could knock Wycombe out. That was not the case. Fleetwood United. Okay, so they got 2 red cards in the first leg, and then they got they got a draw in the second leg, 2-2, but they got battered in the first leg, 4-1. So I think with this one, I think the damage was done in the first leg. Fleetwood had more of a fight back in the second leg, but I think that Wycombe just had the overall edge from the first leg damage. So I think the second leg was just trying to revel some hope and try and win back some pride. But in the end, Wycombe demolished them overall, and they're going to Wembley instead. So I think if Wycombe get promoted, Peterborough will launch a UK riot. But ignoring Peterborough, Fleetwood and Portsmouth, go again next season. I'm sure you'll make it, along with us, hopefully, Donny Rovers. And let's predict what I think the score will be with Oxford Wycombe. So that is taking place on the 13th of July, I think it is, 13th. And so that's only in a few days' time, a couple of days' time, 3 days. Wow, 3 days. But I'm going to predict who I think is going to win. And you know what? I think this is a very easy one to predict because I am thinking this will be a 3-1 win for Wycombe. I'm sorry, Oxford fans. I'm really, really sorry. I think Wycombe have the edge on this one. I think they're going to travel that form from Fleetwood. It's kind of like Northampton in the League 2 playoff final. They demolished Exeter, and I think that's one of the reasons for that is because they've travelled to the Wembley to face Exeter with the momentum that they took from getting back in the second leg against Cheltenham. So I think the momentum they took from being 2-0 down in the first leg to Cheltenham and then making it 3-2, again, I think they sort of used that form and it spurred them on to beat Exeter. I think we're looking at the same story here. So I think Wycombe's going to win this one, but I think Oxford may have a couple of chances. I don't think it'll be completely Wycombe attack based. I think Oxford will have chances, but I think overall, I think Wycombe again will be the strong opponent. So Peterborough can riot all they want. I'd be glad for Wycombe if they got promoted. They're a bit of a success story, like Bournemouth were a few years ago. We don't know if they're going to survive in the Premier League yet or not. So who knows? I don't think I've ever seen Bournemouth against Wycombe Wanderers as a Championship fixture. So it'll be very interesting to see if that does end up coming true. But bearing in mind I haven't actually seen Wycombe versus West Ham United as a Championship fixture. So we'll see what happens with the Premier League relegation battle as well. But whoever goes up, congratulations. I'll be watching the game, obviously, and delivering a review, like I did with Northampton Exeter with the 4-0. And same with the Championship playoff final. I'll review a little bit of the semi-finals and predict who I'm going to win the final, and then do a reaction to the final. So we'll see what happens. And then, once every single playoff thing has been decided, from non-league to top tier, I will then do a review of the UK football season, looking at specific moments, specific dates, specific goals, promotions, relegations, going into the season, and everything like that. So I may do them in separate videos. I may do them separately for Premier League, Championship, League 1, League 2, Vanarama. I may do it like that. So thank you very much, guys, for watching this theme. So thank you very much, guys, for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And for now, guys, tune in on the 13th of July, or the 14th, depending what time it kicks off, for a review of the and a match reaction of the final of League 1. See who's going to be leaving Donny Rovers League. I don't mind who leaves, to be honest, from a Donny fan point of view, because I don't mind who I face next season. But for now, guys, my name is the CHALL. Goodbye.